now they can hear us.
I didn't want to move too quick with this baggie because that could look pretty suspect.
You're like trying to clarify what's going on.
Yeah, but if like it went live and I went like this, like that wouldn't look good.
I mean, we do have it automated switching, so
Yeah.
I mean,
that could happen.
If that was drugs, that would have been the first time that backfired.
if that was drugs, but instead it's way less cool. What is it?
Earplugs. It's foam tips for my in-ear monitors.
Foam tips for which to be in all fairness is a really important thing, because the reason that I ordered my a set of mine before I found the old one is I was wearing my in-ears more and I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
I just needed to change them out, so I totally understand. It's just guitar picks. Don't worry about it.
No, they just go in my pocket.
Well, you don't have like a place for picks at all?
You don't have a little drug baggie for picks?
Oh, you mean like on my person?
Yeah.
No, just my pocket.
Oh man, I couldn't handle just things.
Free floating things in your pocket?
No, it's all very organized. Things go places, not just throw it in. You know.
That's for you.
I know.
He
That's
said that.
Fuck.
Where's your iPad, Adam?
I was late and I forgot it.
Yeah.
Late for content. Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen drinking rum.
I'm Dave drinking water.
Adam also drinking water.
I have
Are we
water
doing that
too.
this time?
What do you mean?
Just announcing what we're drinking?
Well,
I
was-
just do
it's-
whatever Hagen does.
It's different because it's rum.
Yeah.
That's why.
I guess that's fair.
That's
actually.
why I
Yeah.
announced it, because normally I
Why,
would.
why are
drink,
you drinking rum?
He's trying to
trying-
get a taste for it.
Trying to build a rum palate a little bit. I got this bottle
Okay.
of rum because I was out of rum for cocktails at the house, and I was like, let me just
got fancy
try it a little
rum?
bit. It's not fancy, but I mean, it's like and I had some
I mean,
last
it's
night. It
not
was
college
good.
drum.
What'd you say? College rum?
It's not
it's
college drum.
rum.
It's not college
That's what I
drum.
was trying to say. It's been a week.
Has it? What's going
Been
on?
just really busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quit that.
Yeah.
Hey, stop it.
I can't.
Why not?
We can get into it later.
Off air.
Yeah.
Oh. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great. Got new tires in my car.
Whoa, that's
cool.
fucking.
Had to
hey,
do it.
Come on.
Had to do it.
Had
Just
to
front,
do it.
just front tires.
Had to
Had
do
to do it. You mean like it was really, really bad?
Well, okay, look. I thought
Like
that-
every person who's like of a dad age has been telling you to replace the tires for 6 months.
no, I being of spirit of dad.
I thought you'd be like, I being of sound mind and body.
No, I looked at my tires. I was like, I think I need new front tires. So I went and
Alright,
got them
yeah.
changed. And when I was leaving, the guy, I was like, hey man, thanks. He's like, yeah, any questions? And I was like, how bad were they? And he just went, that was like, wow, okay.
What a-
they were that bad.
What a legendary jackass.
Yeah, I know.
That's
he just
incredible.
laughed at me.
What a
But
prick.
I also noticed it because I was driving the other day in my car. I'd let go of my steering wheel for a second, and the car just went, woo, started turning to the right. And I was like, oh, fuck, something's wrong.
I mean, that could just be your alignment, but
Yeah,
sounds
well,
like
then
it was both.
Got the tires fixed. It's totally fine.
Yeah, well,
There
they
you
do.
go.
They do an alignment then. I think. Usually.
No, not where I went.
It depends on the.
Because I asked them if they do alignments, and they said they don't.
Oh, and they're just like,
It's
no.
fascinating.
Good
Fascinating
luck.
content.
Hey, for some people, they don't know. They don't know how
Hey.
that shit works. Now you learn something about cars and tires.
Yeah, check your tires, listeners.
Check
like,
your brakes too.
Dude, I
Yeah,
fucking
check
hate
your
my,
brakes.
cars.
my wife had no idea you're supposed to like replace brakes on cars ever.
If nobody told her, that's not her fault.
Nobody in her family told her
Yeah.
because they always got new cars and they never got to that point, and it was like, well,
So like when you hear like the
Yeah,
squeaky, it
yeah.
wasn't like there was no alarms.
no, she was just like, that sounds weird. I don't know why.
True. Okay, yes,
And
that's
then
good.
I
That's
was
good.
like, yeah, you have to replace the brakes. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've had to do that. I had an ancient car
yeah.
for quite a while.
You did.
So
I have to. I think I got to do brakes soon on mine, which I don't want to do.
No,
but
it's not fun.
I mean, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Because the mechanics are always like, if you're going to do brake pads, you might as well do rotors.
you might as well have us do all this other stuff that costs
Yeah.
a bunch of money.
If you want to do brake pads, you want to shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk to you in the first place. Why do I have to talk to you in the fuck? I hate it.
The best time to do brake pads is always when you're going to get your car inspected and you're already a month overdue. I've done that before.
Well, no,
there you go.
And the guy's like, I'm not letting you leave this like shop until I replace these brake pads. I'm like, okay.
Okay. I guess I have to
Is
do
that bad, huh? And he's like, yeah.
I go to the place that's just gonna go. Yep, you're good to go. But it's
I
also
did
not
feel
inspections
good.
anymore.
Well, yeah, right. We don't
Yeah.
believe in that here anymore.
I'm still gonna do it.
I thought it was good. I was very reassured that hey, they're actually checking shit at this place. I kind of like that. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but now it doesn't matter. We just cars are deaf machines driving around on the highways of Texas, and everything's fine.
Hell
Dude.
yeah.
So here's the thing: is that I'm really glad it was just the front tires because when the car started veering to the right, and I'm asking, do you guys do this too? As soon as it started veering to the right, I was like, okay, cool. My suspension's gone. I need a new front end.
No,
I don't know enough about cars to know that I would jump there.
Oh man,
I despise everything about cars. I don't want to know a single thing about how that. I don't want to know how it works. I don't want to know why it works. I want to put gas in it and drive it. And then I want to go to somebody and go, okay, something's weird about it, and they go, yeah, no problem, I got you.
And you're like, cool.
That's what I want because I no, there's so many fucking moving parts. It's like gear. It's like obsession with gear.
Absurd.
It's so like it's one of those things my brain does not work with, and I refuse to it's the same thing for how a computer works. I can open a computer and change parts in it, but it's because I have Google in front of me that's telling me how to fucking do it.
Right.
Yeah.
They all work the same to me.
They're just like Lego pieces made out of like silicon. dust or
magic.
whatever.
It's magic.
it's made of magic.
I don't want to know.
I can attest to this because we've been on the road many times in a vehicle of yours, and I'm like, hey, you check engine lights on. You're like, I don't care.
No, I say it's fine.
Or it's fine.
But that was the last time that happened. That was because it just keeps turning on and off. And
Is it still doing it?
yeah, I'm tracking the mileage now of when it does and doesn't because the last time I went in and I was like, I think it's like a sensor. They were like, yeah, well, this is broken. And I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. Resolve this problem that I'm having.
You can get one of those little like code reader things. I used to have to keep that in my car.
Oh,
My
AutoZone will
old
do it
car.
for free.
Well, yeah, but then if I just wanted to like always know why it turned on my old car, it was like every 10 miles it turned on.
It always turned on for yours because it was like, I'm old.
No,
Please- please
it was
kill
always
me.
the same thing. It was some like oxygen sensor thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, those are like not made to last forever, but text is not required. So
I
like,
could also alternatively quit drinking and be a really healthy person and do all these things that are good for me. I'm not going to do any of that. So
I mean, there's nothing wrong with not caring about cars.
fuck, dude, it's a nightmare.
That's why I enjoy my car that I have now so much is I don't have to care about any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There are
that's-
no moving parts.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. That's the wheels
great
are the
feature.
wheels are stationary. They just slide across the
tires
road.
are
No,
only
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that I'm gonna have to,
The
like-
world moves for it.
Yeah.
They
The
figured-
roads are like escalator
Yeah,
walking
Yeah.
pathways.
That's pretty great, man.
That's what we should
I
do.
would go to work. I mean, you don't want to go into work. I would go into work if that's what it's
You
like.
just had a walking
Escalator
roadway.
Walk
roads.
outside and
Yeah.
stand there.
Fuck yeah,
And end up
dude.
at work.
Oh my god, that would be
It
great.
sounds like the world that Walt Disney wanted to make.
Yep.
He was this close,
So close. Instead, theme parks.
where you have to walk so much. Alternatively,
Actually,
Ironically.
there is kind of a weird point. There is like I think they invented the moving sidewalk for Disneyland or something like that.
Really?
With the people mover thingy on the top. The same concept, at least. They don't use it anywhere at their parks.
and you
gotta
know what?
Walk everywhere.
You know what? They don't have to, and they shouldn't have to. Let's walk.
You would say that.
I would.
I mean, I'm fine with walking too, but
Yeah.
Florida sucks. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't go to Florida.
yeah, that's fair. I'm not going to go back.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Grammys, but
We're
first
trying not to.
talk about the Grammys. You're trying not
We're
to
trying
specifically.
not to. We're
Oh,
just-
I'm
we just
trying
keep
to.
going.
Yeah, cars are really interesting, guys.
Yeah.
So before we do the Grammys, though, I wanted to quickly discuss. It would be against us, really. I think if we didn't talk about the Fire Aid set from last Friday. Did you guys see this?
I did not.
Okay, so there was a concert.
I'm a bad person and didn't see it.
Okay. Well, then speak when spoken to, and
Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
yeah. So there was a big show. It was at two different venues in LA, the Kia Forum and the Intuit Dome, for this big relief fire aid for the LA fires. The reason that we talk about this is because of all the performances. There were
yeah.
so many. Now, I have the full set list pulled up. I'm just going to call out the ones that are kind of interesting. So Green Day performed. They played two of their songs. I guess this might be a Green Day song. I don't know. But they played Last Night on Earth with Billie Eilish. That's pretty interesting. Cool. Alanis Morissette did some songs. Anderson .Paak with Sheila E.
Anderson .Paak had the best set of the night, arguably.
And So Anderson .Paak, Free Nationals, Sheila E., and then doing Still Dre and California Love with Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
What
and
the
the
fuck?
Free Nationals were there too.
Yeah. Of course, Dawes was there because now Dawes is everywhere, and I'm sure it's just hard for Dave to contain his boner, his fucking rock hardness with Dawes everywhere.
You're so right.
I know. That's why I said it. So they did a couple, like one of their songs, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Springfield, Buffalo Springfield cover and Crosby, Stills and Nash Young cover.
Yeah, with two of the guys from Crosby, Stills and Nash,
Yeah.
Steven Stills and Graham Nash.
Yep. Pink did a Janis Joplin song, Led Zeppelin song. I guess that's interesting.
One of her songs.
Yep. I'm skipping some stuff because there's people that just did their own stuff. That's fun, whatever. But Gracie Abrams did Counting Crows song. That's relevant to us doing the Counting Crows thing. But aside from that, who cares? Gracie Abrams is meh. I was interested to find out. So like some people were there, like Earth, Wind and Fire did Earth, Wind and Fire songs, right? John Mayer did John Mayer songs.
He did a Tom Petty song too.
Yeah. But like you get what I'm saying, right?
I didn't know they were still around.
Oh, they're still around.
Yeah.
And they sound great.
Now, No Doubt just did No Doubt songs.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I guess No Doubt's not really like a band anymore. So like that's kind of cool. But like they
guess
also did a
yeah.
reunion last year.
Yeah.
So like
That's just what they're doing now.
I was like, you could have done something different.
And they're also an LA band.
True. Yeah. For some reason, Jelly Roll was there.
I skipped his set.
Did a Bob Seger cover with Travis Barker on drums.
Skipped it.
For some reason. So all this happened, and then we get to the main reason I'm bringing this up, which is Nirvana set. So we got Dave Grohl, we got Chris Novoselic, and we got Pat Smear doing a Nirvana set with St. Vincent for Breed, Kim Gordon for School, Joan Jett for Territorial Pissings, and then Violet Grawl and Kim Gordon for All Apologies.
Cool.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah,
That's fucking
That
cool.
sounds cool.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Incredible.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the Nirvana stuff.
Yeah. The Nirvana stuff was great.
Yeah. That it was really cool. Was it All Apologies that Chris was playing the accordion for?
The squeeze box.
Squeeze box. Yeah. that was really cool to watch. In general, I thought that was a really cool thing to do. The other performances, for the most part, like Chili Peppers performed a bunch of their songs. Who fucking cares?
They were just okay.
Yeah, like Flea performed with somebody else.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. It was Higher Ground with Flea and Sting.
Dude. Okay.
Yeah, right? Isn't that so weird?
So hold on. Yeah. It was Nathan Watts, who was Stevie Wonder's bass player for like decades and music director since like 2001 or 2009 or something like that. I forget which number it was. And then it's Flea and Sting. Sting's not playing bass. He's singing verses with Stevie Wonder, very obviously reading the words.
Yeah.
Not even trying to hide that he's reading.
Sure.
And then Flea is like the only one on stage like rocking out. He sticks out like a sore thumb the whole time.
Just in the picture alone, like most of them
Yeah.
are wearing like all black and like leather.
Was he wearing clothes?
Flea was wearing clothes, but he's wearing polka dot pants. He's wearing like what looks like almost like a Rastafarian hat. Yeah.
Dude, for the Chili Pepper set, he was in his underwear.
Yeah, he was. I did see that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I wonder. 'Cause that's what he does.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. I think the really cool thing about that, aside from just like the people coming together, is that like LA was just full of these incredible performances and collabs all weekend because of that.
Wait, hold on. Did Olivia Rodrigo perform after Nirvana?
I don't know. I don't.
That's a sentence I never thought I would say.
I don't have the order because if I'm reading the order correctly, no, but I don't know when they split up from like which performances. It didn't tell me. So
I think she did, and so did Billy. Billy and Phineas closed the show out. Lupe just confirmed it in the chat. I saw a lot of people complaining, like a lot of the younger generation, going like, "Man, I thought like my parents asked me if I wanted to go to an Olivia Rodrigo concert. I don't know who all these old fucking people are."
Oh my God.
And I think that's so funny.
That's crazy.
Because if you think about from the context of there were a lot of kids there just to see Billie Eilish.
Yeah,
right?
Sure, yeah.
Think about those kids never having been exposed to Nirvana.
Well, and that Nirvana is an influence on both of them.
Exactly.
Big time.
But these
Yeah.
kids, they don't know that. So imagine you're a kid.
Dog,
and
that's
you're-
crazy.
Like seeing Kim Gordon perform with the rest of Nirvana is like, for a kid, it's like if we saw Gigi Allen.
Yeah,
when we were
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
to see the Backstreet
NSYNC,
Boys,
yeah.
or NSYNC,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Be like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
It was just it's such a funny idea.
Yeah, and it's really good that we see more proof that Violet maybe is forgiving her dad a little bit.
Yeah, but I also totally understand if she decided not to forgive him.
Yeah. I think forgiveness should take a lot of time. It was more of a joke.
Bad
that's-
joke.
Whatever. Fucking. Who cares? Dave Grohl cheated. It sucks.
Not just. He had a secret family.
Well, he didn't.
He didn't get to that point, but he was trying
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
He was
yeah.
plotting it.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
makes
yeah.
it worse.
Yeah. So that the main point of that being also the really interesting, just like huge amount of music that was happening with like these huge names all coming together and collabing over just last weekend in LA. Very, very cool. But then that gets us to Sunday when the Grammys happened. What did you guys watch? What did you guys not watch? Where are we on our stance of the Grammys?
I still don't care about the
That's
award
fine.
ceremony
That's fine.
like aspect of
That's
it.
fine.
Like, it's way too long. I didn't watch the entire thing live or anything, but I know that it was long as hell.
Yeah, it started at noon in LA, so 2 here.
Yeah, but I mean, like even the televised part.
Yeah.
Televised
like
part was like 3 hours long.
3
I
or
think?
4 hours long.
Yeah, the actual ceremony is about that long. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was in a new venue, right? It hadn't been in this.
I believe
place
so,
before.
yeah.
I think that worked better.
Yeah.
because it's more performance driven, and
I liked the
I watched most of the performances.
I liked the performance-driven part, and I also liked kind of instead of people being in like what would be like an auditorium or stage-type seating, everyone being at their tables
Yeah.
and kind of having. I know that has happened at other award shows before, but I liked it for this setting a lot because it kind of just let everybody. I think party more, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess maybe it is the same venue that it used to be, but it was set up like a stadium tour show instead,
Yeah.
which feels more fitting for music awards. Like it'd be weird if the Oscars were hosted in like a field or something, right?
Sure.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well,
as a
when
movie
they did the
theater,
outside
like,
one,
right? It was
yeah,
weird.
it was
and
very
not
weird.
good.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
during COVID, right?
Yeah. Hey, Lupe, we'll fucking get to you, okay?
Yeah,
Don't worry.
calm down. The stage production was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they had the thing that pulled up to reveal the performers, and then went back down to like where the speakers walked through, and then how they were able to set up the sets where it's like both sides of the center of the stage were performances. So when one side would be up while someone's performing, they're getting ready for the other side. And you can't see shit.
Yeah.
And there were some elaborate sets.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh my god, some of those performances were like insane
Oh
to do
my God.
all of them back
Yeah.
to back like that. It was crazy.
Well, and I don't know if they haven't done like quite as involved performances as like
No.
the Chaperone one. Is
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of that's very involved.
Yeah.
Like the Grammys show is probably going to win Emmys for production.
It should.
stuff
should.
Yeah.
because
yeah.
It was unbelievable.
crazy.
Yeah. Let's work our way into the performances again. Let's back
Yeah.
up. And what did you guys see for the red carpet? Did you guys see anything did you guys see the red carpet drama? It's important that we at least mention it because it did happen.
Do we need to talk about him?
What do you mean? He's a show favorite. He's an old show favorite.
Yeah. So we'll start with that
Okay,
one. We'll
yeah.
start with
That's the only thing I know about
what
the red carpet.
everyone saw, which
I
is
didn't see it. I heard about it though.
You didn't see it?
No.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, so Kanye and his wife, Bianca Censori, showed up to the Grammys uninvited, mind you. Very, very they not invited to the Grammys.
I thought he was nominated for something though,
but he was not invited.
so they can do that. They
Apparently.
can nominate you and be like, "You're not invited."
He was
though?
uninvited. He was not invited to be at the Grammys. Yeah. So he
I
shows
mean,
up.
I don't blame them for not inviting him. But
And but before I get to the big thing that everyone's already seen already, but he was also he's going through like a manic episode right now. His Twitter is like going crazy. I don't know if it's still the case, but for a good snippet there, the only person he was following on Instagram was Taylor Swift. And when he got to the Grammys, he was talking to like publicists and people who were in charge of the red carpet to try to basically stage a picture with him and Taylor Swift to get like attention, whatever
heard
have you,
about that.
right? And so then him and his wife on the red carpet, she's wearing this big coat, she takes it off, and she's more or less naked. She's naked, but
Yeah, I heard she was stark naked.
she has like you could see everything, but she has like a sheer something on.
Oh my
but it's
God.
not like it's not like she's wearing what you would call clothes traditionally.
Like if I wore it near a school.
Anyone wearing that would get arrested.
And
Yeah, okay.
there were kids that were around the corner.
Thank you for stopping me there.
and there were kids that were around the corner that saw it, and that the Grammys started freaking out about. They're like, you're not supposed to be here. This is bad. And then boom, they got kicked out.
How is their security so bad that like you don't see Kanye and be like, hey, we were told no? Like, everybody understands why?
I would think the only what I can think of as far as that goes is that one, if Kanye shows up, like, what are you supposed to do? And he has his own security. Maybe they're friends. Maybe it was like a whole, like, who knows? But, like, I couldn't imagine going up to Kanye as a security person, even someone who works at those events, and going, sorry, bud.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they should have, like, handled that. But that would be, like, if that happens, somebody's like, hey, call the fucking head of security
Yeah,
or head of the
100%.
Grammys
Yeah,
or
get
whatever,
them
and be
out.
like,
Yeah.
Preemptively.
he's here. Like,
Make sure he doesn't hit the but I
Yeah.
mean, it's America in 2025. It's where you are told you shouldn't do something and you just do it anyway, and everyone lets you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then interestingly
Great.
enough, just a side note, Kanye and his wife were at the after party also, and she was clothed there, not as clothed, but you know, some of the performances, people were wearing like, you know, some less clothing items, right? That's kind of what she was wearing at the after party, which is so weird. Like, whatever. Anyway, yeah,
It's
so
to get headlines and
100%.
Yeah.
And so, so that was all you saw
That's
the red
the
carpet.
only thing I know about.
Oh, dude.
Because one thing I have always kind of enjoyed about award shows and the Grammys in particular is go look at how many people are freaking out about it on Twitter, especially these days.
Yeah.
Man, it's nuts.
It's nuts. So there was I'll give a positive one before I go to the other crazy one. So Knocked Loose, the metal band, was nominated for Best Metal Performance. They looked amazing. Now
the devil worshippers.
the devil worshippers. I turned it off after the second junt. So they, interestingly enough, got a write-up from GQ for how good they looked. GQ was like, Knocked Loose look like they had a whole write-up and a whole thing of how good they were dressed.
Damn.
I was blown away by that. I thought that
great.
was so cool.
Good for them.
And then Jaden Smith wore a house.
Oh, I did see that. I saw him. Man.
Fuck, I should have had this ready. Okay. I'll
One
pull
of
this
the-
up.
I don't know how to understand that.
One of the
sense.
performances, they
Like
panned
the
over
house
to
from, like Up or something, like a costume.
they panned over to Jaden Smith, and I was like, "What the hell is on his head?"
All right, that's not what I would have expected.
How would you ever have expected any of this?
No,
Hold
I mean
on, wait.
dressed up like a Halloween costume. Like I
But oh no, this picture doesn't work though, because okay, so
Is there a
let
point?
me find another. I can find the statement
Oh,
that
it's right in the center.
this one works. I need a full body shot, because yes, this is the one. So this suit does not fit him. Like, it's really important to note that his shoulders and his chest are like, and this part of his jacket. Let me get it on the screen. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. It does not fit him. It's kind of crazy. So he wore a house. It's so
I have
funny.
a lot of questions.
Yeah, like why is he got a house on?
Well, that and like, is he like a serious musician, or is he just like doing this for fun?
Wait, is he a musician?
I think he
thought
made
he was,
music
like-
at some point, but he also is an actor.
Yeah, I thought he was an actor.
So-
I know
so-
Willow's incredible.
Right, but she's serious about it.
As
He's
you
not
can
wearing a
see,
house.
he's wearing a house. It does cut off the top of the house, but it's because it's huge. So he's wearing a house, and you can see this part of like the jacket here.
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
It
Did
doesn't
he get
fit
it at
him.
Goodwill.
No, this was made by some tailor in Ukraine, I think.
Turns out it was just a guy named Taylor in Ukraine.
I
And
don't.
I think it cost him like, I think the whole thing cost him like $5,000 or something like
I
that.
don't understand fashion.
I don't think anybody understands.
News flash.
Someone at work today told me that there's a video. He couldn't find it though, but there's a video of him walking down the street, like in this, like going to the Grammys, and someone's filming it and going, "Hey, Jaden," and then he has like, because of his wearing the house, he has to like Batman neck and turn his whole body around. So Jaden turns around, and the guy goes, "You look like a dumbass."
That's the part you don't think about, is that these people who are dressed like this just have to walk around. At some point, they're not in the smoke.
He could have taken the house off.
Who knows?
He could have taken the house off. It's so funny. I mean, like, I truly, when I say like that's like one of the funniest things, I couldn't have asked for that. That is so fucking funny. Okay, and then the other red carpet thing, Dave and I have already talked about this. This has gone past what is like. I don't know, like pop culture. Like this is like, sorry, I should say this has gone into like what is pop culture. This is like, this was metal news. So the singer for Spirit Box, her name's Courtney LaPlante. She was on the red carpet because Spirit Box was nominated. This time around for the metal awards, there was a really good chance that it was the first time a woman was going to win best metal performance, because Spirit Box is fronted by Courtney. The Knocked Loose song featured Poppy, and then the Gojira song featured an opera singer who was so there was it was a really good chance. Courtney's on the red carpet getting interviewed, and
Courtney from Spirit Box.
I'm sure this goes well.
And the interviewer mixes her up for Poppy, and says, "Today here we have rock royalty, Poppy."
Wildly different looks. Like there's no lineup of like who done it.
I do
that you could put Courtney and Poppy in.
I would say I have never seen. I've seen Poppy. I haven't seen the other two.
Sure.
Don't think I would mix them up.
So this is
especially
not,
if it was my job.
Yeah.
This is not the full clip, but you'll at least get the gist here.
Poppy. No, you are.
I am Poppy, and I am really happy to be here, nominated with Knocked Loose. I really hope we win.
I mean, that is the right way to handle that.
Yeah, she handled it really well.
But did the person interviewing her say you are Poppy again?
She said, yeah. She goes. So here we have rock royalty, Poppy, and then she makes a face, and then she goes, "No, really, you're Poppy."
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Oh,
and
that is the best way to handle that. You're so right, Adam.
Yeah.
She says at
What
the
would have
very
been better
end.
actually is if Poppy was getting interviewed later and just pretended to be
Courtney.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that. That is the best part of this whole thing. So at the very end of the interview, though, she says, "Really happy to be here again. Would love to take home the Grammy for Knocked Loose myself, because I would be the first woman to win this award. I actually haven't looked at how many women have been nominated previously, but I always just know that it's time for one of us to win. I hope it's me or Spirit Box and Courtney."
And I think if Poppy were in the same scenario, she would have done the same thing.
So Poppy now has new merch that it's a name tag that
Says I'm Poppy.
Oh my god. The internet is unmatched.
It's so funny. And it's great because I've seen so many people that aren't even in like the metal world that are talking about this. It's the best thing. I can't get enough of it.
You don't have to know who they are.
I mean, you
that's funny.
put the curb. If you have a funny enough video to put the curb theme at the end of it, it's like you got
fine.
gold.
Everybody gets it.
You've got gold.
And I don't even want to malign like the person interviewing, because they have a thing in their ear, a voice telling them who they're about to interview usually. So that's the other person's fault.
Yeah, and they're just like go, get that person. We can get that person.
They can't be expected to actually know who they're talking to at these events either.
Yeah,
dude, can you imagine how many artists that walk through the Grammys that people that aren't even nominated who are just there by association?
Yeah.
And if I were somebody who were interviewing celebrities, I'm just as easy to make that mistake.
Yeah. I mean, it's just she handled it brilliantly. It's very funny. It's a great clip.
Oh,
You
great.
are Poppy. Yes, I am Poppy. I am excited to be nominated here with Knocked Loose.
Oh, that's golden.
Okay, so those are like my red carpet highlights. There were some looks, if you care about that, but I already talked about the Knocked Loose one. Moving on, people were wearing clothes.
Most of them.
I like fashion, but I there's a point in time where I'm like, it's just really rich people showing their clothes. It's kind of cool at a certain point. At a certain point, it's like, fuck, who cares?
Yeah.
All invited guests were wearing clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, uninvited guests.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say
yeah.
except for Flea, but Flea was wearing
Maybe
clothes.
she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
invited and Kanye wasn't.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
That's
kind of funny.
hilarious.
So let's take our trip back into the live performances. The night opened with
Dawes! We love it!
oh my god.
There was, I feel like there was a lot of DAWs. being talked about around this event.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't just Dawes though, because it also included John Legend, Brad Paisley, Sheryl Crow, Brittany Howard, and St. Vincent, all performing Randy Newman's "I Love L.A."
Yep.
And I was like, "This is so cool." And then halfway through, I was like, "I'm a little underwhelmed."
Yeah.
Wait, was it St. Vincent's dog shit piano solo?
No, it was. I think honestly, it was just like the. I don't know. I don't know what it was necessarily. I think it was just maybe the song choice. I understand why they chose it, but I was just like, I don't know. I'm not really getting anywhere from like I'm not getting anything from this except for like it's cool to watch all the like some of them looked bored. I think the person who looked the most excited was Brad Paisley.
Yes. Yeah. He loves Dawes. They did a song together.
I think it was less about the Dawes thing and more of just like he was just like I fucking love playing music. Like Griffin looked bored.
Yeah, but Griffin was probably nervous.
Sure. Okay.
Also, I can't imagine how fucking tired Taylor and Griffin are.
Yeah,
from Dawes.
they've been doing the circuit. Yeah.
Not only that, their lives burned down.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought it was a cool thing to watch, and then I was kind of like, I don't know, like I thought I was like, what? Why are all these people like? What's the John Legend?
How was this selected?
Yeah, John Legend's cool. St. Vincent's cool. Like, I love it's a cool combination. But like, couldn't we have maybe picked a different song or done something more with this group of people? But that does also lean into like it is cool to see them like that group of people on stage. Yeah, so that was cool.
It's like whatever that performance is that has Prince kind of like taking over the show basically at one of those
from the Grammys.
I think it's from
also from the Grammys. Yeah,
right.
when they were honoring the guy from the Beatles that wasn't Paul McCartney. Or
George
Ringo,
Harrison.
George Harrison.
That's crazy.
Which is like
that guy.
That kind of performance is really cool too. But I can imagine people at the time being like, some of these people look bored because they do look bored.
Yeah,
there is an aspect where some of them just look like they're like, I was told to be here and it's good for me and you know I was nominated or whatever.
They probably had to learn that song so fast because
that's true.
I assume there's not a lot of like
rehearsal. I was also reading that was like a last minute decision to do that.
Sure, that makes sense.
So.
But that was cool.
Still cool though.
Super cool.
I'm gonna kind of fly through some of these performances, but I do want to get everybody's thoughts.
I might stop you.
And I'm not gonna. Yeah, of course, stop me. But I'm not gonna talk about every single performance. If I miss one that you want to talk about, go ahead. I want to talk about next about Benson Boone and these beautiful clothes that are on the floor. Did you see this? You saw this performance?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was part of the Best New Artist where they did.
They called it like a Best New Artist medley.
Yeah.
They all just did a song. What do you mean medley?
Most of the song.
What do you what?
They did most of their own songs.
Oh, didn't Benson Boone just do that?
I don't know.
He didn't do the whole song.
I'm not pretending to understand.
Did 2.5 minutes? A minute?
Yeah,
two
it was
minutes?
like a verse and chorus and a verse and
sure.
chorus.
That's almost how every single performance works. Also, Chapel got more than that. What do you like? And Doechii got she did like 2 songs, but like it was fine. Like it was that was like 3 minutes long.
All right, I'm wrong. Okay,
The
Ray,
producers
you want to hear me
of
say?
the Emmys don't know.
No, they called it.
what a
They
medley
did call
means.
it the new artist medley or whatever. But it was weird because like Ray did one song, right?
Just
and it
a
was a
song,
whole
yeah.
song.
It was a
and
whole
song. And it was a full like 2.5 minutes. Maybe
Yeah.
it was cut somewhere. But like, well,
It was a like not radio edit necessarily, but an edited shorter version of the
sure,
song.
yeah. So
She was incredible.
So Benson Boone gets his suit ripped off. He's wearing like a blue sequin jumper underneath, and then he does I think a pretty good job. That song's really hard to sing. It's his song, but it's pretty good. And
He immediately lowered the key.
yeah.
Like as soon as he started performing that live, he was like, "We're lowering that."
Yeah. And then he did a flip.
2 flips.
2 flips.
Who fucking cares?
The first one was like, that's cool. And then the second time was like, now you're just being a dick.
Yeah, the second one was like, "Oh, that's your thing."
Yeah.
I watched that flip and I was like, maybe you should have wrote a different song to do a flip to, because I don't know.
Didn't make sense. That's fair.
Could you imagine like Billie Eilish doing a flip? Like that's what we're talking about here. Like, that's what it feels like. I mean, everyone's dogging on Benson Boone, saying that he's like the new Imagine Dragons. I think he's great. I think
He's on their label.
I think he sounds really good.
Yeah.
But like, and there's another reason why that he's also the new Imagine Dragons. I don't think he is musically, but like I think that he is really good. I think that he's not boring, but I didn't really understand the epic clothes rip off to like a piano ballad that has like this one epic moment, and then you do
It
flips.
seemed like a funny gimmick, but then the gimmick kept happening, and it seemed like he was serious.
Yeah, it also
Like
started.
with the second flip, it's like, oh, you're being serious. You enjoy that you can do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
The camera starts on him sitting there dressed regularly.
Yeah.
And he kind of has this like, oh, me? Am I supposed to perform? And then Heidi Klum and Nikki Glaser rip off his clothes.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it like there's parts of that are fun, and I think the bit just was like a little too far for
I think he was too invested in the bit.
Yeah. And then the final piece of that puzzle is that I was curious more about Benson Boone. So I was Googling Benson Boone, and I discovered very quickly, because it's like the second or third Google about him, is that he is Mormon. That guy is Mormon as fuck. That's also why he's like the Imagine Dragons. Musically, he's not again, but that's also like the connection, because they're Mormon. Hey, just a heads up, and this also goes for the Imagine Dragons guy. Hey, Imagine Dragons guy, you're super hot when you take your shirt off, but I don't know if that's super Mormon. And Benson Boone, I think that's pretty sexualized for you to get your clothes ripped off. I think you should probably talk to your local.
Local
father,
Local father.
yeah, and see. I don't know if Heavenly Father would really agree with that.
Oh, not just that. It's him very obviously adjusting his bulge at the end of the performance. If you didn't see that.
I didn't notice that, but I'm not surprised either.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very weird. But anyway, that was Benson Boone. I'm doing this out of order, just kind of just random. So Billie Eilish, I thought she sounded really good. I thought the backdrop was really pretty.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I kind of thought I didn't really know why her band was there. I'm gonna be real.
I think it's because this is the first tour where it's just been her and her band without Phineas and without her parents.
Okay.
And so I think that in solidarity with the band, she was probably like, you guys have been on every show for the tour, so then you're going to be on all the performances.
Yeah.
When they did SNL, the band was on SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, she's done it's just her at
sure.
other award shows and the Grammys in the past too. So I can see wanting something different.
So the thing with, I think with in particular that song, there's not a lot of room for a band to like breathe per se and like kind of step out. And when they started playing, I was like, is that drummer playing to a drum track and him? And I was like, no, it's just him. And the way I realized it's just him is he went for a fill and it sounded like shit.
Yep.
And I was like, man, what? Like, don't just like, I hate to as a drummer be this guy, but like just do the track, because he sounded or never change anything, like only do the fills that are in the recording, because when he did, it was some little like flam kick flam fill he did in the middle of playing the groove, and the groove they must have triggers on something because the snare sounded the same. That's why I thought it was a track.
Yeah.
But regardless, he still played that really well. And then when he steps out of it, it's like, nope, sorry, can't. Like, there's going to be examples I'll give where the band stepped out and it worked.
Yeah.
And this, unfortunately, is not going to be one of them.
See, I didn't notice that because that's the fill in the song, the da-da-do-do, or whatever, the into the chorus.
Yeah.
He nailed it, but
It wasn't like a mess. It was just like, oh, this is not the track, and I can hear that, and it's nice to hear it's a person, I guess, but at the same time, when everything up to that point sounds like a recording, and then suddenly you can hear that little bit of human, and then it goes back to sound, it's like, well,
It's just weird.
it's like when you see videos of people with filters on and they glitch for a second.
Yeah.
And you're like, ah.
it's like it's like if you were listening to a recording made in a studio, and then all of a sudden, like for a second, it's like recorded off an iPhone, and then back to it's again, it's not bad. I don't think he necessarily was bad, but I was like, you didn't need to do all of that.
Yeah.
So there's the Billie Eilish performance. We already kind of mentioned Chapel's as far as like the production level of how intense it was.
So good.
It was.
She sounded incredible too.
She sounded really good. The production was amazing. And I'm sure it's happened, but like when's the last time you get the whole Grammys to sing along to your song?
Yeah, I
to
know.
get the whole crowd to sing along and be excited to do so. Like that's
every
cool.
shot of everybody in the crowd being excited for her performance, especially.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Usually there's somebody in the background who's like, looks bored. Right?
Yeah, right. And she was having a great time too. There were times where just like catching her smile of just how much of a good time she was having. That was really, really cool.
The only thing I didn't like was, and I'm glad her guitar player got some shine at the end of the song, because during the guitar solo portion of it, she was like had her guitar up in the air, and they flooded her in white light.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that sucks. You can't even see who it is.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I do agree. It was nice to hear that they like that because the ending they did like an extended thing at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that right? Yeah, and that was really cool. Charlie XCX's performance was wild. Really? You didn't
Yeah.
like it?
I don't know why I expected more because I haven't watched any live footage of hers. And so I just thought I thought she was too casual about it, but maybe that's the point I'm missing.
I think that's just her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just her.
But then,
That's just her.
I mean, I thought the starting in like the parking garage underground thing was neat.
Yeah.
The transition to being on stage.
to being
that was-
to being like a rave on stage.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it felt like a rave.
I wanted
think
I
that
wanted
was
to
the thing.
Be on that stage. Like this is that's what her shows are like.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is what was happening on the stage. That's what her shows are like.
I liked how she walked in from the car park or whatever, and I also liked it when Beyonce did it for the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, I was like, oh man, Beyonce got there first.
There's no way Beyonce was the first one to do that.
no,
No.
but I mean,
Okay,
like
okay,
in
okay,
the
cool.
last year.
Sure, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and that's like a fun like production trick.
Yeah.
Because you could, I assume for the Grammys one, it was pre-recorded. It
I would say so.
pretty much had to be, I think.
Yeah, I think that
But the one for whatever football game that was, that's not got a name really, Beyonce Bowl.
Yeah, the Beyonce Bowl.
That was probably done like in real time live, and that's cool.
I think for a lot of Chapel's performances, like I've seen clips of her like going up on like the top railings of like the venue she's performing in, and the camera's up there following her. So it's the same type of thing where she's walking around somewhere else, and there's a camera on her, and it's on like the screen, and everyone's yeah. So I think that at least followed through from the live show. I mean, I think that like that was another thing too, where just paying to the crowd was really cool because the crowd was having a great time. Because I mean, it's a rave.
Yeah.
It's a fucking rave at the Grammys. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think she sounded great. I mean, those songs are like instrumentally speaking, like we're not dealing with any like live performance as far as like the instruments go. But regardless, I mean, I still think it was a great performance, and like it shouldn't take away from anything from that, you know.
Right.
And then I have Doechii next.
Ugh.
Dude,
Also
I didn't
unbelievable.
see this one.
Fuck, it was so
you
good.
have to. She's so good.
I don't know. I looked at the Grammys website
Okay.
and was looking at the ones that they featured, and then they were not featured on there.
So Doechii won.
There was quite a lot not featured on there.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of performance I didn't watch because I was like, I don't care. And no one was talking about them, and I was like, well, if no one's talking about how good this is, and I don't care about it, then I'm just not going to reach out and go further. But Doechii won Best Rap Album, and
The
so
third female artist to do so.
and I hadn't listened to any Doechii, so I did listen to most of the album. It's so fucking good. But that performance was great because it was, I think it was a really good mixture of track and real instruments, because they also did some of her songs with almost like, I'm not gonna say like an R&B take, but like some kind of like live band-ish take to the whole thing. And they so one of her biggest songs is she's playing her therapist talking to herself. And so I don't know what she does live normally, but they had someone else like being the therapist, and it was really great with the new arrangement for that in particular. Couldn't suggest that one is amazing, and the choreography from all the dancers and from Doechii during that was wild. Like,
And speaking of escalators, they had a moving escalator thing right at the front of the stage, and it was so fucking cool to see it.
yeah. Listen to that album. It's really good. It's really fucking. I'm really impressed by that album.
If you like Kendrick's new album, you're gonna love this album. And
Yeah.
she's on TDE, which is Kendrick's label.
Oh, that makes sense.
Sorry,
makes
the
sense.
label that Kendrick is on.
I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was great. Ray. I apparently have to listen to more Ray because that was her performance was incredible. I mean, what the fuck? Such a long ass note to hold.
this is why like last year I found her album like 6 months after it come out, I think, because it came out in 2023, and that's like I've listened to that a bunch.
Wow.
And her live performance, like
Yeah.
recording of it.
So did you
crazy.
watch that performance
Yeah.
from the? So
Yeah.
how close is that to like her record? How different? What was that? Is that
Same.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Because also I thought there was like a little bit of a theme throughout some of the live performances. So Doechii kind of leans into this. I thought Ray was a little bit. We'll get into the Quincy Jones tribute and like Sabrina Carpenter. Also, they all lean into a little bit of like almost like I don't want to say like specifically 50s 60s, but I will say like some
Yeah.
like older.
It did feel
older-
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was strange.
Multiple performances. So I was like, oh, maybe Ray's for some reason doing the same thing, but I wonder if that's what she sounds like. If that's what she sounds like, that's fucking cool as
I'm
shit.
trying to remember what other show I've seen her on. I feel like it might have been like Graham Norton or something like that.
I mean, she was on SNL not long ago.
Oh, that's what it was.
Which actually
just
is
hard
like
to
one
have
of
a
the
good-
rare like sounded good on SNL like
That's cool.
mixes. She did a Tiny Desk thing too, I think.
Yeah.
A while back.
Doechii also did a Tiny Desk, and I haven't watched it yet.
Apparently
No,
it's really good.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, apparently it's great. So the Weeknd. Did you see the Weeknd's
saw
performance? So
Man, what a great marketing gamble he went on and came out on top.
they
I can't believe they welcomed him back with a performance.
I can't believe
Because
they
that
wel-
just means like you don't get to argue with anyone anymore.
I
It's
can't
not
believe
the-
they had behind them all of the articles that were written
Yeah.
about. So the Weeknd was boycotting the Grammys for the last year or whatever, right?
like
More than
3,
that, yeah,
4,
yeah.
5 years.
So the Weeknd boycotting the Grammys, and so they as they introduce him, they explain that he's been boycotting. With behind them on the screen is all of the fucking articles of like the Weeknd's beef with the Grammys, and then they invite him back to perform.
It was like the CEO of the Grammys or
was,
the
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
that
yeah.
was like,
I want to know what that I want to be a like fly on the wall of that negotiation with like him and the Grammys or his people in the Grammys of like we need the main dude to come out. He has to be the one like the CEO or whatever the
Yeah.
name is, like chairman or whatever. He has to come out on stage and apologize. Like,
yeah.
shit.
That
they
would be
originally
great.
like didn't let him perform because he was playing the Super Bowl, right? That's
Yeah.
how far back
Oh.
this goes.
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
So that would have been 2019
Yeah.
or
No, it would have been
2020.
2020
Oh,
or 2021. Yeah.
But
yeah.
2019 year.
Yeah.
forwards.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So that's pretty crazy. I didn't watch that performance because I'm good.
It's very. I like the Weeknd, but it was very forgettable.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's interesting just that like he got them to do that.
Yeah.
Like he might be the most powerful person in music for being able to pull that off, frankly. In some aspects.
Don't say
right?
that too
Like,
loud.
he thinks he is anyway.
He
but-
thinks he
Yes.
is. That's for sure.
but that certainly doesn't help with inflating that ego.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then there was the Quincy Jones tribute. There was a lot of people who performed for this, right? There's a lot of people. I was really excited about the Cynthia Erivo part. Sorry.
She was fucking incredible. Holy shit.
Huh? You excited to watch Wicked now, bitch?
Yeah. Hey, listen, hold on. Back up. I was not unexcited to watch Wicked. I told
Indifferent?
what?
Indifferent about watching Wicked.
No, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. I've heard it's really good.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
I was
yeah.
indifferent.
Adam, let's shit on album. Yeah, she was so fucking good.
I mean, like she's been like a Broadway superstar for like a minute, like more than a minute now, and to see her do that style of music and also do a lot of things that didn't sound like a lot of the runs she was doing, those aren't Broadway runs, those are
No.
like jazz singer runs.
Yeah.
and she's just leaning into it and killing it. And it was Herbie playing piano, right? Herbie.
Okay,
Hank,
so
yeah. Okay.
this is the thing I didn't like about the Quincy Jones thing. I thought it was beautiful. I thought
Okay.
it was really well done. When Stevie Wonder and Herbie Hancock were just talking, and then when they played and Stevie Wonder played the chromatic harmonica, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But throughout the entire thing, Herbie Hancock was not worried about arrangements
Oh,
fucking for 1 second.
So-
that motherfucker noodled the entire time.
Yeah.
And not like, he just didn't think about anyone else.
so that was the thing about when Cynthia was singing is there was times where I was like, oh, that sounds a little nasty, but it's big, but like, and like more power, more like credit to Cynthia for the fact that Herbie Hancock is literally like over in the corner, just like doing reharms of the song. And she's just like, I will do whatever. I will sing. I'm just going to keep going. And you're going to keep doing, and they nailed bringing the full band in.
Yes.
They brought it home.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because of Herbie's crazy reharms or because Cynthia was just doing her thing. But
And here's a clarification here. I don't think that Herbie was trying to sabotage anything or to
No.
disrespect any performers on stage with him. I think he's just so smart
I think he's just doing his thing, no?
and so musical, and he's been doing the same thing for fucking decades.
Yeah.
That he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, for sure.
Jacob Collier was there backing. Who's the country singer that sang?
Fuck, I don't remember.
I forget her name.
Yeah.
Lainey Wilson.
Was he backing Lainey?
Well, yeah, because it was the same band, and it was all the same during the Quincy Jones
Okay,
thing.
wait, let me find
She
that.
sounded strange. That was a weird
Yeah,
call.
sure. Yeah.
She sounds great as a country singer, but not as
for that,
not
yeah.
for that, not in that setting.
Yeah.
But Jacob Collier was just playing the arrangement, and I'm like, cool. That's yeah. I would have liked that for the whole thing.
Yeah, I that it's but to that point, I do think that it kind of leaned more into, at least for my big point, for my big thing of Cynthia sounding even better.
Yeah.
I think that you have a guy who's fucking around in the corner and just
catch.
I guess. You have a guy who's just like fucking around in the corner, and Cynthia Erivo is like, I'm gonna sound perfect.
Yeah,
and
she
she was
floored
having
me.
a blast
My
while she was
goodness.
doing it too. So, yeah, she will. I'm gonna be using her as examples in lessons forever. I think that performance was just like, it was amazing. Sabrina Carpenter's performance. What do we think about that?
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
really
And-
fun.
and,
like
like-
set design, set
Yeah.
production.
The
Dude.
sets. Oh my god.
That could have been a scene out of a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
It literally could have.
It
like,
was great.
She walked down the one flight of stairs, and you're like, oh, she's gonna come down the other flight, and she just keeps going
walking.
down.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
And
she sounded great.
And the whole time, like for that part, they're doing like a different arrangement
Yeah.
of espresso.
It's like a swing version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go into Please, 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 and then back into espresso.
It was so good.
like, what a cool way to just like, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
great. That's so good.
that whole section was the first time I was watching the Grammys and went like, this is like a show.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, I think this year did something where like I don't necessarily know if the performances were like the best ever, but it did do something where I was watching it and I was thinking, man, like this is what they should do every year. Is
Yeah.
balls to the walls, kind of shit like this. Because like I can't think of a time I watched the Grammys and I was like, that performance, like a majority of performances were like that involved.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Honestly,
were so,
they should lean into doing just that and
Yeah.
like not even announce any of the awards other than the top like 3,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 4, like
and then like the producers,
and just like space them out like really far
Yeah.
apart.
now that this is starting to happen, the producers at MTV are peeking around the corner like, you saying we should make it a music channel again? Are we going that far backwards?
CBS or whoever has the broadcast rights is losing them. I know. I
Yeah.
saw that somewhere, so that's interesting. That
Losing
they're-
the Grammys.
Yeah. Well, they intentionally didn't pick them up again.
Ah.
So I don't know where those wind up, but that might mean maybe there is more performance-driven stuff where it's like, go crazy. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
maybe make them longer too. Personally, I
It's
don't
gonna go
care
to
for the
Netflix.
medley aspect of like. I get why they do it. I just don't care for it. I like the like Ray doing her whole like the whole song.
I'm
thing.
cool with the medley, like how Sabrina Carpenter
That
did hers.
one was cool. That's fair. That
we
one
can
was cool.
we can make medleys like Charlie XCX did it. That was a medley too. That was Von Dutch and Guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that was great because you didn't just get like a snippet. You got like majority of a
most of
song
it,
and then
yeah.
majority of a song. I think those.
The medleys I hate are like, hey, here's 10 seconds. Here's 10
Right.
seconds. We don't have
Right.
the attention span to like even focus on any of it.
Yeah.
So. But if you embrace it as a bit, which they kind of did with Sabrina Carpenter one, of like
Yeah.
it played into the comedy of it too, of like,
she was so
we're
great.
back to it.
Yeah. Any other performances you guys want to talk about?
trying to remember which ones happened.
I think for me those are my big ones that I was like these are cool and or at least like worthy of like something noteworthy occurred aside from just music. I mean Benson Boone obviously sounded great, but like the flip, you know,
Yeah,
that's
what
where I
everybody's
was
talking about.
Really didn't like
everyone's
the
talking about
flip.
that. No, I'm cool with the flip on its own. Like just hey, do a flip. Maybe write a different song. Maybe do it to like a like a more inner like if you want to do like you know boy band moves, write a song that sounds like a boy band song, right? That's my only thing with that.
I do want to mention Janelle Monáe at the end of the Quincy.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was so good.
Yeah,
was
she did sound
too.
great. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the winners. We have two different kinds of winners to talk about tonight, and that is the winners of the Grammys and also who won between us of our predictions. So we can do this a couple different ways. We can just go down the winner list, and then we can go back and forth between our predictions. There's some stuff that we didn't predict that I do want to talk about because
Let's start with that then.
Okay. So hold on, let me, so there, like we did on our Patreon, we did a thing where we did the predictions, we went through the nominations and each of us had who we thought was going to win. Some of these that I do want to really quick mention that we didn't really predict is going to be best arrangement, instrumental or a cappella. And that went to Jacob Collier, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Jacob Collier, Tori Kelly, and John Legend. That is the most fucking deserved award for Jacob Collier. I don't really know if he needs to win any, I mean, he didn't win anything else, but like if he's gonna win something, that's perfect. That is the most perfect thing for him to win.
Yeah.
This I haven't listened to yet. I meant to listen to it before this, but best musical theater album went to Hell's Kitchen. Now the only reason I bring this up, I haven't listened to this musical, but the producers and composers, Alicia Keys, Tom Kitt, and Adam Blackstone.
Wow.
Yeah. So I do really want to, and I do really want to listen to it, but I haven't listened to it yet. But I found that the people involved in that musical very cool. I can't remember if there was another one that best rap album we didn't do because we none of us had. I think we didn't really know any of the albums per se at the time. But I still don't know the others. But the Doechii album, Alligator Bites Never Heal, I could not suggest that album enough.
Same.
It is really fucking good.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna add that now before I forget.
It's really, it's so worth it.
So now, moving on, do we want to do, let's see, the smaller awards first and then go into some of the bigger ones or bigger awards first? How do you guys think?
Start small and get big.
Start small. All right, best music film. Adam, you predicted correctly here as that went to John Batiste's whatever the fuck that movie is called.
Yeah, that sounds right. Was he there?
I don't know if he was there.
I didn't see him anywhere. So
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Best Americana album. All of us were wrong. And I'm surprised that you didn't say Sierra Farrell for that, but she did win. She won everything for this. She won everything in this.
She should. Yeah, I understand.
So Sierra Farrell won Best Americana Album. Sierra Farrell also won.
Wait, that was the one I guessed Charlie Crockett on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that was a hopeful guess.
I guessed Waxahachie. That was a hopeful guess. A lot of mine were hopeful guesses.
I don't know what I guessed.
You also guessed Waxahachie with me.
You just went with Hagen on that one.
I wrote all these down.
No, I know you did.
You have receipts.
I do. So we all are gonna get 3 points for this next bit, which is Sierra Farrell for American Roots song, American Roots performance, and Best Americana performance. We all agreed Sierra Farrell for all three of those, so we all get 3 points there. She won all three. She swept. She swept. Sierra
Good
Farrell
for
swept.
her.
Yeah. Best country album. We all guessed Chris Stapleton, and Beyonce won.
Man, we should have seen that coming.
I think, I guess I wanted Chris Stapleton to win.
Yeah.
I figured Post Malone would win.
And hey, I'm happy Post Malone didn't win.
Yeah.
So just to kind of,
I do think it is well deserved, and it's very fun to see how many people are upset about this online.
and I do, for some of these, I do want to go on a little side quest. People are livid about this.
yeah.
So
People
mad.
are.
I assume you guys saw the video of the guy in his living room yelling at his TV. And
No, I
breaking his
didn't
TV because of
No,
this.
no, that's so funny. Oh my god.
They were going through the nominees, and he's like, "Yeah, not her." Like,
And then she wins.
yeah, and he threw his remote at the TV.
That's so
and
funny.
I hope the glass from
Running
his
up.
TV didn't scratch his Confederate flag.
You joke there was a Confederate flag behind the
Oh,
TV.
I'm
No
sure.
fucking
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So the big point I want to make about Beyonce winning Best Country Album is I went back and I didn't listen to all of the whole of these albums. I did listen to all of Cowboy Carter because it won 2 awards and I was interested. I hadn't listened to the whole thing ever, so I was like, let me listen to the whole thing. But I went back and listened to singles from all of Post Malone, Casey Musgraves, Chris Stapleton, and Lainey Wilson. I can confidently say, without a doubt, none of these are country albums. And the only argument you could ever make for Chris Stapleton and Lainey Wilson is that they sing like this.
Yeah.
That's it. I listened to the Lainey Wilson single and I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this a gospel song? What is happening?
Post Malone sounded the most modern country-esque.
He sounded like pop country.
Yeah.
But are country purists wanting a pop country album to win, or are they wanting a country album to win?
The country purists want a white person to win.
Yeah.
Sure,
They want
yeah,
a
okay,
white
yes.
man in
Without
Levi's
tattoos,
to
probably.
win.
Yeah,
with no tattoos.
I do understand that part of it, but
Yeah.
but for anybody who is legitimately listening to these albums and thinking like, oh, like Beyonce shouldn't have won because it's not a country album. Like, which one of these is a fucking country album?
Exactly.
Casey Musgrave's album was like closer to a
Snooze
Phoebe
Fest.
Bridgers album.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
was
way
boring.
closer to that than a country album. Like I don't get it. And she doesn't even have much of her twang in the new stuff.
And Chris Stapleton's record, while I do think it was one of my favorite albums of the year
Yeah,
last
it was
year,
really good, but it's not as country as his previous
No,
stuff.
it's like a soul
But the
folk record.
the only
Southern
reason-
Americana kind of thing. Yeah.
The only reason you could call Chris Stapleton's album country is because of his voice.
and he wears rhinestones.
And it's the only reason you can call Lainey Wilson's album country is because of her voice.
And she wears rhinestones.
And it's
So
like,
do they need to rename this category like most country voice sounding?
I mean, I guess I don't understand what they're looking for. I mean, I understand the white male thing. Yes, I agree that they are looking for a white guy.
Well, even
I
then,
say
though,
it in
think-
jest, but I also think it's true.
no, I mean, there's
No,
a large some of those
yeah,
people that are very
they were.
racist, and
Yeah.
yes, but like
But like, what is the Academy looking for?
yes.
Oh, you mean the 13,000 voters?
I did enjoy how that was repeatedly.
Oh my God.
People were really upset because they're like, that's the first time they ever talked about this. Who fucking cares? I think people were also mad because they're just trying to justify why Beyonce is winning. But we'll get more to that.
We'll get there.
I first saw that and didn't know they did it for every like award. I mean, I got that after the fact later, but I saw the Kendrick Lamar acceptance winning thing. I was like, that's pretty great. Are they saying like, fuck you, Drake? 13,000 people voted
100%.
against you. Like
Yeah.
that would have been it if they just did it there.
Actually, I got a message from our ex co-host Jackson. He wanted me to read something on here. It was a meme that said, the Grammys apologizes for omitting Drake from this year's In Memoriam. He sent me that and then said, say this on the show. I'm like, okay. So there you go. I said it, Jackson. Are we happy?
Yeah, he's
all
not
right,
here, though.
great, awesome.
Is he lurking?
No, he's not. No.
He hasn't been waiting this long.
No, there's no way. He would have already messaged and said like in the chat and been like, "Hey, say the thing that I sent you."
Yeah.
So anyway, the really big thing here is for anybody who is listening who has a strong opinion about what should have won country album. I just want you to define what country music is then and why that album is more country than Beyonce's, because I don't get it. If it's based on location, Beyonce's from Texas. Like I just don't know. I just like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So. We all got no points though. We all said Chris Stapleton.
Oh,
Yeah, we all fucked up on that one.
yeah.
In hindsight, it seems obvious.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, that
That's so true.
Well, especially with like her doing the Netflix football game thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
During
Yeah.
the Cowboys game or whatever.
best country song we also got wrong. That went to Casey Musgraves. We all said Beyonce.
So we had the right track.
Yeah, we were just a little off. We were just a little off.
We were on the trail.
Yeah, we were somewhere that needed to be, but we were just not quite there.
That was for Texas Hold'em, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why we thought that was going to win.
Yeah.
But it would also, for some reason, I guess, make sense. I don't know. Anyway, country duo group. I think made the educated guess, which was Post Malone and Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
I think we made the educated guess there, and I'm so happy we were wrong because Beyonce and Miley got it.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that duet is incredible. It's so like the harmonies on that song are fucking crazy. I'm
know if I know
so
that
happy it won that. Yeah, there's 2 duets in a row on her album. I think it's Miley and then Post Malone back to back, I think.
Oh, okay.
But the Miley one is insanely good. Country solo performance. Dave, you get a point here. I guessed Shabuzi because I hate the world, apparently. And Adam,
we didn't mention it in performances. I watched his, and I don't like it.
yeah,
I thought he
He performs really well.
Yeah,
but
I thought he
the
nailed it
songs
live.
Still, like the lyrics sound even more of an AI generated thing that's being sung by a human.
You know what's crazy though is that I think another theme of this Grammys was
The audience was enjoying it though, to be fair.
yeah.
So
I think another theme of this Grammys was no overnight successes. Now, I'm not saying this is a full blanket statement, but you have
That's
people
fair. Yeah, as
like
people who've been all the new artists have been around for 15 years.
they've been working their asses off, and Shabuzi is one of them. There's a promoter in Dallas who posted a bill that he booked Shabuzi on that was like a festival in 2014, and he was the bottom like one of the first names on this bill.
That's great.
And so Shabuzi's also one of these like no overnight successes.
I also found out today that Teddy Swims, who I've been raving about a little bit in the last couple of months, he used to be in a metal band.
Yeah,
he used to scream.
He's a huge metal guy.
Did not know that.
Loves metal to death.
That's great.
Okay, so yeah, Dave, you got a point there because that was Chris Stapleton for country solo performance.
Wonder what cold? I wonder what song? Not cold.
I can't remember. I'm
in love with you. Probably.
I have all the awards pulled up, but I have to scroll through all these.
Oh, you're good.
But I have ours pulled up here, so that's more what I'm going off of.
Yeah.
Traditional pop vocal album. I did a personal guess here. That was for sure. You guys each got a point here.
Do we guess Brat?
No, traditional pop vocal album. So you guys both said Norah Jones.
Yeah.
And I said Lake Street Dive because I'm a simp apparently.
I would like that too.
No, it's a hopeful.
So you guys got 2 points there. Alt music album, we all get a point here because that was St. Vincent.
That was the right answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alt music performance. Mine was for sure like I'm pissed. I'm gonna guess this because I think that these people voting are like pitchfork heads, and I voted for. I said Kim Gordon. You said Fontaine's DC, and Adam said St. Vincent, and it went to St. Vincent. So that's a point for Adam there.
Yeah.
I think St. Vincent swept all of the things she got nominated for in that area.
I tell you what, she didn't win that piano solo.
I don't know if maybe.
I know she won.
She swept the alt category, but I don't know.
That's fair because then we get in the weird.
We get the rock stuff, and I think she was nominated for some of the rock stuff. And she did not win the rock. She won one of the. No, she won
the weird arbitrary genre thing.
Yeah, she won none of the rock awards. Oh no, she won one. She won best rock song. Okay, So rock album. Are you guys ready to all hate everything? Because Rolling Stones won Best Rock Album. You guessed Jack White. Dave said Idols. And I said, is Dark Matter Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm very disappointed in this.
Yeah.
I would have been happy with any of our picks, even Pearl Jam.
The category that the Beatles were nominated for, Trevor Noah was like, and for some reason the Beatles are nominated.
The Beatles nominated twice.
The Beatles won one.
And they won once. Yeah.
At least the Beatles one, I get it because there's like a lack of a better word, a gimmick.
It was for use of AI.
I get
right?
why there's like. No, I think they just won for like rock performance.
It's coming up. Don't worry.
Okay,
but I think that one at least makes more sense to me. Is like I get why that was a gimmick and got attention, right?
Yeah.
By voters. I don't believe that they listened to the Rolling Stones album.
Yeah, and I love the Beatles song. I think it's great.
Yeah. So best rock song. It looks like we all agreed on Idols for that.
Oh, they didn't win.
And they did not. That was also St. Vincent. So no points for us again. But I'm happy either way. Happy either way with that. That's great. Because it could have been the Black Keys or Pearl Jam or Green Day. And I'm really happy it wasn't any of those three.
Same.
And then we go to best. I'll do best rock performance. Best rock performance was this is where St. Vincent didn't sweep because she was nominated for this one. This is the one where the Beatles won for Now and Then. So just to clarify, that was up against the Black Keys, Green Day, Idols, Pearl Jam, and St. Vincent.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, just so we're clear, Adam got a point for that. Adam guessed Beatles.
I thought that they were going to win. I didn't want them to, but
wait,
again, I think the story is there for the voters about like the Beatles back for another, blah blah blah, right? Like it's a compelling, interesting story for the voters to be like, I don't know who Idols is and who's this other person. Like I don't know who the fuck that is.
I hate it here.
Well, yeah,
like
me too, dude. What was that for again? Did you say best rock performance?
Best rock performance.
It's not even a rock song,
and it's not a performance, right?
Yeah.
Well, they use that. They use that song. They use that word.
No, I know,
like loosely. Yeah.
They use a lot of things loosely.
So now we get into best metal performance. This we all got no points because I was just pushing Knocked Loose hard. We all agreed Knocked Loose, but I'm happy still. Gojira won for the song and the performance from the Olympics, which is so
In hindsight,
cool.
that also feels obvious
Yeah.
to me.
I mean, I think that culturally that makes the most sense, but
Yeah.
I was just really on that Knocked Loose train, and I was really, I mean, like I would be.
You sold us.
Yeah. So yeah, I did. So the metalcore community being like the Knocked Loose and Spirit Box fans were really pissed that they didn't win, and it was really nice because the metal community came together and it was like, guys, at least it wasn't Metallica and Judas Priest, guys. But the really fucked up part is that they played a Metallica song while Gojira walked up to get the award.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wait,
Isn't that fucking crazy?
What the fuck?
Isn't that wild?
Why?
I don't know why they did that. It was.
How do you screw that up?
It hurt my feelings. But they were on cloud nine. They partied up so hard afterwards. Like it was a really big W. Another big thing about Gojira, they've been around for about 30 years. No lineup change. The same band for 30 years. So very, very cool. Still happy about them winning. Ian, that was the more metal than sleeping in a coffin in the woods. The performance, yeah, I agree. So then we have the electronic music stuff. We didn't do all of these, but I will say the ones that we guessed, which was we all said Charlie XCX for what she was nominated for, and we all won that. So we each get 2 points there.
That one feels almost too obvious.
Yeah. I mean, it's well deserved.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Not to say it's not deserved, but
the summer was named after her.
yeah. If that happens, you probably are going to win.
Yeah. Best pop vocal album. We all get 3 points here because we all said Sabrina Carpenter.
Nice.
And that would be correct. And that is also well deserved.
Yeah.
Pop vocal album. That's a huge win. It makes a lot of sense.
And one over Taylor Swift,
Oh yeah.
who won nothing.
Haven't said it yet.
Adam just had the most menacing look on his face when he said nothing.
I'm very happy about that.
I feel like you
because
just asked me if I wanted some like a Cinnabon. and it's 2:30 in the morning or something.
Yes. She
Yeah,
didn't win nothing.
My God.
I think that album was really bad.
Okay.
I will stand by that. I like other albums of hers.
So
I think
next
that's
is
fair.
pop duo. So no points here. I think there was a part of me that almost said this is the answer. So I guessed. I said guess the Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish, and Adam, you agreed with me on that. And Dave said Levi's Jeans, Beyonce and Post Malone. It went to Die with a Smile because of course it did, because it's the most boring
This
song
one also
ever.
makes sense in hindsight.
Yeah. It's a fine song. I shouldn't say it's the most boring song ever. It's just like yes, we understand the Bruno Mars formula. Thank you so much for doing it again.
Even he seemed a little bored with his acceptance speech, where he's like, "Thanks."
There was
Was like all he said, right?
I think so. There was a I think it was Charli XCX performing, maybe Chapel, and Lady Gaga and Bruno were sitting next to each other, and like there's a camera angle where Lady Gaga's like dancing up and down, shaking whatever dancing, and she starts grabbing Bruno to like shake him and dance with him, and he's just not moving. His body moving as Lady Gaga shaking him.
He was up gambling too late the night before.
He did look tired.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why you got them glasses on, Bruno?
Pop solo performance. We all said Billy. And speaking to people who won nothing,
Yeah, I feel bad about that.
I mean,
Like, she's won a shit ton of awards.
Yeah.
Like, she shouldn't feel that bad, but she looked sad.
I think that was a different. I think people were saying she looked sad. I think she was like. I think that was a different.
I think
kind of
she's
thing.
happy for other people winning.
Yeah.
I think
But
she was.
I think she feels. My impression from her just talking about this album is I think she's the most proud of this album.
Sure.
If
Yeah.
my
So
memory
it hurts, maybe.
Yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, she was crying because they were showing footage of the fires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that she didn't win any Grammys.
No, I'm not talking about that.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
people
yeah,
were
but-
saying
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
poor Billy, she didn't win any Grammys, and using that clip of her
that's
crying as like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, no,
So
she's fine.
She is. Yeah. So we thought Billy. We all were wrong. That was also Sabrina Carpenter. Best pop solo
I think
performance.
is well deserved too.
I think
So-
that's also well deserved. Songwriter of the year. Adam and I, we get 2 points. We said Amy Allen. I can't remember what all she wrote, but we looked at all the stuff
We looked
that
at
these
the list,
yeah
and
these
that's why we
yeah
did there.
yeah. Producer of the year goes to the guy working behind everyone. That's not Jack Antonoff. That is Daniel. I was going to say his last name wrong.
Negro?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So he is doing Chapel Roan, Olivia Rodrigo, and I'm sure he'll do much more than that. So he won. We all get 3 points for that.
yeah.
Well deserved. Also,
Best new artist. Dave and I said Benson Boone. Adam said Ray, and it was Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Which gives me a little side pause for a second. Did you guys watch her acceptance speech?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Really, really good.
Basically talking about how the labels need to provide more like things like healthcare for the artists. Labels, we got you, but you got us was how she ended the speech, and that was great.
I mean, I look. Hopefully, she continues to be able to win awards because I feel like the industry might shut down that aspect of things. So that's like brave on her part.
Yeah, she
being a
said
new artist.
several things. Anytime she was on
Yeah.
camera for that whole day, she was advocating for artists and
Yeah.
for the LGBTQIA plus community. Like,
I mean, that stuff is less like the label's not going to care about
sure,
that as much, but that argument that they should pay for healthcare, which is something that I never had occurred to me, but I figured they did indirectly for like unions cover that for actors, right?
Yeah.
I figured there's an equivalent. Sorry.
Oh my god!
would you stop doing that?
Yeah. He was like gesturing like
I can't. I love making fun of you for that because,
Yeah.
like I said last week, I would do it every 5 minutes.
that's why it's not by you. Yeah. I mean that is a really good argument and something that should happen. I can see like labels going to war over that because
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
cost them like billions of dollars.
100%.
Dude, a lot of
And
people.
her point especially seemed like it
Your
was
turn.
Sorry.
I realized I had a second thought and I didn't get to it. Oh, my bad. I'll just take your mic away now.
Oh God.
Here you go. So you want to talk on that one too?
Another thing I thought about.
Go ahead, Adam.
She made a comment that was basically like I put in a lot of work for years and like got nothing for it basically.
Yeah.
Which, to your point about all these artists who like put in all the work, that's also like readily apparent.
Yeah.
And that they
Yeah.
got nothing from the labels for that.
And didn't Olivia Rodrigo mention that before because she announced the performance for Chapel? And wasn't she like, this is my best friend for years? I've known her when she like worked in like an ice cream shop. Like,
Yeah.
like they like Chapel really like she got fucked over by a label once, thought that her music career was over, but didn't give up, and then got re-signed, and then just had this explosion over the last however many years. But it was not overnight successes. People,
Yeah.
these are artists that are really putting the fucking work in.
Yeah, they're doing their shit.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was I've seen a lot of people that I wouldn't expect to post about it reposting what she said online and being like, she's right. And I'm like, wow, I didn't
Yeah.
even know you knew who she was.
Right. Yeah, it's super cool. So then we have Song of the Year. We all said please, 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 and that went to Kendrick.
Dude, did you guys see?
This makes sense.
Did you see when he was walking up?
Was
There's two things about Kendrick
Okay.
and when he won that. The part of the song happened where they said A minor.
Oh.
Where he says A minor.
is it where Taylor Swift screams it or whatever?
The entire crowd.
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
hear the
yeah.
crowd go A minor.
Yeah, yeah.
And in honor of Kendrick, I'm wearing my Canadian tuxedo today.
Oh, okay.
Because he was wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Nice.
And Drake is from
Canada.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
pick
yeah.
up on that.
Yeah.
And probably the shirt that he's wearing he's wearing Levi's 502. So the next album will come out on May 2nd. Is that right? All right.
I did enjoy the selection of the clip of that song that they played was like the part.
Yeah.
I get why they did that,
Yeah, of
but
course.
it also seemed like hey, fuck you, Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and did you see that Drake?
Did he sue the Grammys?
No,
Not
not
yet.
yet. Not yet. Did you see that Drake for his most recent show? I guess it was last night or the night before. Walked out with a shirt that had like bullet holes in it.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
What is he trying to symbolize?
It doesn't matter. Record of the year. Adam, you get a point here because you said Kendrick and me and Dave said Billy. So, Adam,
I'm a little sad to be right on that one.
no, I think that's great.
I like Billy. Billy would have been good too.
Sure, yeah.
Both of those awards we've talked about so far for her were for Birds of a Feather.
Yeah.
But I would really, I mean, not the other awards that I haven't mentioned. Kendrick won 3 other ones outside of these 2. So, and it's ones that we didn't mention on our Patreon that we did predictions for because it was rap and hip hop related stuff, which that's not the world we're as steeped in. But like he did sweep everything, and I mean, talking about like why like Gojira won Metal Performance, it's all like cultural significance there, right?
Yeah.
And that was what happened with Kendrick too.
Yeah. And like I think it's so awesome that he won all 5 awards.
It's so good.
When I guess the speech for like record of the year, it sounded like he was saying like, "Hey Drake, And the audience, like, they cut to the audience, and the audience is like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dre."
Yeah.
Hey, Dre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was unplanned, but that
Was that?
good.
Is that when the guy come over? He's like, "You got to do it." And the guy goes, "Mustard."
Yeah. And then album of the year, we got no points, but it goes to Beyonce. I said, me and Adam said Brat, and Dave said Chapel Roan for that one. Let's just, I just want to start this off really quick before we go into like all of the hate that's happening. And I want to ask one simple question. Would you have rather it been the Flute album? That's all I want to know. And
I forgot it was nominated.
I love Jacob Collier, but he was nominated too. Why the fuck are we even mad about who won? We should be happy it wasn't the Flute album and the jazz guy. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Did
come
it win
on.
anything?
The Flute album?
Yeah.
Thank God, no.
All right.
Like,
I really like Jacob Collier, but I don't think it was album of the year.
no, not at all. I thought it was a good album, but it was not album
If
of the
that
year.
won, people would be like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Normal people.
You know what? That brings me to one of my first points of people being mad about Cowboy Carter. And I've seen a lot of this. People have said there were no hits off of Cowboy Carter, which is, first of all, false. Because
Yeah.
Texas Hold'em was everywhere
A huge hit.
when that song came out.
Yeah.
She
But-
played the Netflix football game
Yeah.
because of that album. Like,
But Ian says it's not just a Flute album. Hey, you know what? I'm really happy for you that you found joy in that. Or if you just read or heard us say that Andre 3000 say that, you just believed him. But it is.
I don't know if I believe that.
It is just a Flute album.
It's multiple flutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is more going on, but there is a lot of flute.
Yeah.
So people referenced the album of the years in the past that had won, and they had pointed out that a lot of those had like a lot of really popular singles and that were really big. Now, my one question to them is, and my big point here is, John Batiste won album of the year 3 years ago, right?
For an album that nobody knows.
No one knew. Like what?
Not only that, Beck's Morning View won.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knew who that was.
And people are mad because Cowboy Carter wasn't like as big as, say, I think most people were mad Billy didn't win, because even the Swifties know they can't be mad that Tortured Poets Department didn't win.
Yeah,
the Swifties are on Billy's side right now.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. So
I do know some Swifties who are very quiet about it not winning anything.
yeah.
They would have been very loud if it won anything.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. They know.
People were also referencing some of the Swifties were referencing like how many units like that album sold compared to Cowboy Carter and stuff like that. I'm like, unfortunately,
That's how awards are
that's
determined.
not how the awards work.
That's
And
why John Baptiste won.
also, like a lot of Swifties are just buying that shit up immediately. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like it's just a different scene of people. So I think that's a really interesting thing. I think that a lot of other points that I'm seeing, which we talked about this before, but I think it's worth bringing up, is that people were upset about the fact that Beyonce's album has, I don't want to get the number wrong, but I will. It's a large number of writers on the album compared to albums in the past that
Yeah,
had.
how dare people write music?
So I think for me my big one with that is like I'd never listened to that album, so I listened to it after it won because I was like, I'm curious. And I think that as an album it like flows perfectly. I think it's really good, but I think like as just a piece of work, just the album as a whole, I think it flows beautifully. I think the songs are constructed well, and everything goes like it's ordered perfect. It's like it is a damn near perfect album, right?
Yeah, conceptually, it's great.
And I think that if you had one writer, that might have worked. I think the fact that there were a lot of writers, a lot of producers, a lot of people with their hands in there going, what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did this? And who knows how much those people actually really wrote in those. And then the final thing to that is she had a lot of features, and she used like older country songs that she had to give people credit for as writers.
Willie Nelson,
Yeah.
Dolly Parton.
So these aren't just like instances of like let's an artist not writing their song. It's a team of people which has been around in pop music for a long time, and there are people that don't do that, and that's totally fine. Like Billy, Sabrina, Taylor. I don't know. Oh yeah, I mean, Chapel Roan's the same way. These people don't have like a team of writers, right? They have like maybe like 5 or 6 smacks for like Sabrina on hers. But like these, it doesn't mean that that's any less like worth less artistically. It's just a different album.
that kind of thing has been happening since the 50s. Mm-hmm. Like, especially like when you think about country as a genre,
Yeah.
most country artists that would have won album of the year in the late 90s and into the 2000s, they didn't write their own songs.
And that's
That's been a lot of the shitty takes is like people who are saying, well, a real country album would have been like it's one person.
No,
Have you looked at anything?
100% no.
That's not the way that Nashville works.
It's not the way that like modern music has worked in a long time.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
you could obviously find your favorite artists. Like my favorite artists all write their own music, but that doesn't mean that like I'm some like my opinion is therefore higher. And artists that don't all write their own music on their own by themselves without anybody is therefore bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's another part of me that this is not necessarily a fully valid point, but is really happy to see that Beyonce's like paying all these people and giving them jobs to write on her album. I mean, it turned out really good. Like, yeah. I mean, like that's a positive that I can see is people getting work.
As a huge Dawes fan, especially because of Taylor Goldsmith's writing, some of my favorite Dawes songs are the ones he didn't write.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very interesting thing, but I will say the album does not need my promotion, but I was floored by it. I hadn't listened to it before, and I was really amazed by it. So for anyone who hasn't, I highly suggest it.
Yeah,
it's a long, but it's totally
I was
worth
very
it.
surprised she won. I'm also surprised at maybe I shouldn't be surprised at the reaction of it because like last year, I think it was last year that Jay-Z accepted an award for his record, or I think he got the Dr. Dre award. Maybe
he did, yeah.
And
which is really funny that Dr. Dre doesn't even bother presenting the award named after him.
But he was in the audience because Alicia Keys got it
yeah.
this year, and it went over to Dr. Dre, and he was like, "This is my award.
Yeah.
This is mine." Anyway, Jay-Z, I almost forgot his name. Oh my god, Jay-Z did cause a big scene about Beyonce not winning Album of the Year,
Right.
and then this year she wins it.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, that's suspect," and I don't know. My knee jerk reaction was, that this feels rigged. Was my reaction.
Sure.
But now reading about it and thinking about it further, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes
People have
sense.
been calling him Pay-Z, like he paid to have her win and stuff like that.
I mean,
It's like
there's an aspect where it's just like it can be a culmination of her career. She hasn't won Album of the Year before. She's won the most Grammys, right, of anyone.
Yeah.
Probably the most nominations, too.
yeah.
There is a certain point where the voting like audience is going to be like, maybe this isn't the best album of the year, but she fucking deserves something for it.
Yeah.
So I can totally see that because that happens in all award shows where it's like, well, so and so has been doing they've gone their whole life and never won an Oscar, but they've been nominated 45 times. You're like,
Right.
We just have to give them something.
I think that they're like this. I mean, this happens in things as small as like high school, where like if you're on a sports team and it's your senior year and you're the worst one, well, you're still going to start because it's your senior year and you should, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is exist, and that's in the case of Beyonce, it's not a pity thing. It's like you worked your ass off. I don't think that she won this because of any of that. I think she won this because that album is incredibly well constructed. I think as far as this list goes, I think my guess was Brat. I think I said I said Billy. So I think that like Billy's album, Charli XCX, and Beyonce on this list are three really well constructed albums, and I think everything else is okay. Like like it's as an album. We're looking at an album here. We're not looking at like at one song. We're looking at how the whole album works. It's not.
That's a really good point.
It's not this insular idea of just that one song you heard, right? Because otherwise, Andre 3000 wouldn't have been nominated. No one listened to this 7-minute single. Like it's just Anyway, I have one final thing before I read our points off. We can see who won. But my question is, on the Patreon, we had discussed our disdain for legacy acts, and perhaps I'm mostly alone in how upset they make me, but I think that I speak for all of us when it's like it's a bothersome thing to see like the Rolling Stones win best rock album when there's other great people nominated. Kind of thing.
It's a cool story that they came back and made a new album after such a long time, and that it does feel like a modern Rolling Stones record. Mm-hmm. It has the same old feel, but I don't necessarily think that they need an award.
Now, I think it's cool they got nominated, but them winning is bad. Bad for music.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
The question here is, this is not a claim that Beyonce is as old as Rolling Stones or anything like that, but I would argue that she is like a legacy act. She's been around for a long time. She has won a lot of Grammys, like we said. What is the difference between Beyonce getting this award and like the Rolling Stones getting this award?
I think
Still popular.
Yeah, she's still very much a part of the modern
pop
culture.
culture.
Yeah. Okay. I think that you already said the answer that I like, which is it's cool the Rolling Stones came back and made an album, but it sounds like the Rolling Stones. They just made a Rolling Stones record, right?
In 2024.
Why is that a yay? You did the thing that you always do. Did Beyonce just make a fucking Beyonce record?
No.
She did in that
Yeah.
it was like an artistic like wonder, but it was so deep artistically than just like being a another rock record like the Rolling Stones case, right?
My thing with the Beyonce, like with her winning for this record, is my problem. Lemonade should have won before this. did.
Yeah, sure.
Like
I
I
get
still
that.
think she got fucking robbed.
Yeah.
When Lemonade
I don't
didn't
think
win.
anybody disagrees about that.
It's deeper. Albeit I haven't given Cowboy Carter as much of a chance as I did with Lemonade, but Lemonade was so deep.
Dude, the first song literally mentions like how shallow genres are.
Yeah.
And like and later on she does like she has a song there that is like a full on like rap song.
Yeah.
And then she also sings opera on it too. She sings Caro Mio Ben in the middle of one of the songs on there. The album is so vast and so like just like musically expansive that I was just like, God damn, like this is not kitchen sink. This is not throw it at the wall. This is like every piece of this is intentional and it's so cool. So yeah, I think that's an important thing because specifically me dogging on like legacy acts pretty hard. And I'm not saying Beyonce is like, some old head or something, but like, she's been around for a long time and has won many awards. I think it's an important distinction to say she's not just a person winning an award because she's been around. This album is a wonder. Like it's deserved of
Yeah,
this.
the theme of the year of 2024 was not country artists making country records.
100%.
And for her to cross over into that genre, I also thought it was awesome that Taylor Swift announced that Country Album of the Year award.
Great, yeah.
And it did make me think like, wow, Taylor's doing it backwards.
yeah, exactly. So our final tally of points here, we have me with 9 points, Dave with 10, and Adam with 14 points.
Wow.
Let's give it up, Adam, with the predictions, everybody.
the guy who didn't watch the whole ceremony.
Wow. That's why he didn't watch it, because he's like, I know who's going to win.
This guy pre-watched in November.
Yeah, the weekend sent it to me.
I watched the whole thing. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So great job, Adam. You won. Congratulations. That's the Grammys for 2025.
You win less elbow space.
Yeah, great.
I was gonna get an award, but then I thought you wouldn't want it.
No.
I thought you wouldn't want a
I
plastic.
would have to
a plastic
hang on to it for a year. And I might lose it.
Yeah, because then for the next year, every time Hagen comes over to your house, he's going to be like, where's that?
Where's the
Where's it?
cheap ass Amazon plastic award? I would have ordered your ass.
It's a knockoff Grammy that says Garmier.
I was legit trying to find that. I was so trying to
Garmy
find that,
award.
but I couldn't get one here in time. So and also I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Those
with
aren't
it?
just readily available.
No, unfortunately not.
There's not
Unfortunately
a
not.
trophy store you can go to.
Dude, the Don't Feed the Artist award would have to be like an empty bag of potato chips or something. like a gold-plated empty bag of
I
potato
thought
chips.
you were going to go back to what we started the episode with, just an empty bag of drugs. And I was like, okay, I don't know what Dave's going on about.
I think Don't Feed the Artist should just be like a 6-pack of whatever shitty beer you like. I think the Don't Feed the Artist award should literally just be like, what's your favorite shit beer? Okay,
Yeah.
you get that.
There you go.
And a koozie.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
So-
6,
What are we listening to?
Doechii,
Nice.
so good.
Yeah, that album's incredible.
So good. There's a lot of it. I'm not trying to like diminish it, but there's a lot of it that reminds me of Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City record.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, yeah, it's a really great album. I was totally floored by it. I've been listening to that, but that's not really the main thing to mention here. I listened quite a few times to Jasmine 4T. So that's a Jasmine period 4 period T. This is a singer-songwriter that this is their debut album, and it is produced by Boy Genius. It is produced by Phoebe Bridgers, Julian Baker, and Lucy Dacus. So it is an incredible album. There's a couple songs that they're featured on, as well as just the artist, them crushing it. Their voice is beautiful. It's the perfect team up. Obviously this is this artist's debut record, but like what a combination. Couldn't suggest it more. The album's called You Are the Morning by Jasmine 4T.
I listened to the 2 previous albums by my album of the year last year. Know If You're Yanya. I think I said it right.
Yeah, you did. That was great.
Yeah, good job.
I don't know. I'm mad that I've missed all this. It's all really good. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because whenever that came up, like I think Jackson might have said it on that episode, but he was
talking about it for years.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, crazy. I haven't seen her either, so I don't. I mean, I'm not like in the same circles, but it's I mean, it's
She'll
crazy.
be nominated for Best New Artist in a couple of years.
Hopefully so. I know that if I should have mentioned this, who was it? There was someone nominated for Best New Artist. Oh, it was Krungbin. It was like people were like, why is Krungbin nominated?
I did see their performance. I was very curious to see what they did. It was cut short. Like it felt.
It was after a commercial break.
Yeah, I didn't
seemed
watch
like
it.
they were playing during the commercial break, and they came back and they were still playing, and then the producer cut away again.
I didn't watch it because I heard it was incredibly underwhelming. I heard that it was like
dumb.
which I already don't like their music very much. So I was kind of like, well, I mean,
You either like their music or you don't.
I get the appeal of it. It's not really for me. It worked well if like Leon Bridges did an album or an EP with them.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that. That was neat. But yeah, it seemed like they were like playing the commercial break, and then they accidentally came back and they were still playing. I'm like, that's fitting.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've got. This is that was the Grammys 2025. That's what we're listening to. Anybody got anything else?
No.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Ian, what did you say? I'm trying to finish this fucking show, man. What was the song from Fun Fridays that y'all were going to show Adam? It sounded like a score. What
It sounded like a movie score.
Oh, I don't know. I was totally ready for you. I did call on Fun Fridays that you were going to say you're listening to The Weeknd's new album.
I didn't know it came out.
Yeah.
His marketing machine has failed.
Dude, we shit on it.
Is that why he was at the Grammys? Was to promote it because it's not going well?
Well, no, I mean, I think people like it. I saw some people reposting about it and saying that they liked it a lot. I don't remember the score one though, Ian. I'll have to go back and find it, and then I'll send it to Adam. And then next week, Adam can say he's listening to The Weeknd's new album, and I can ask all the questions.
It'll be in a week or two later. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it so much. If you haven't already, please follow or subscribe, whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this. If you're watching right now on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, hey, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't liked the video, hey, like the video. If you're over on Twitch and you haven't followed, please do that. Go to the other channels and do that. A little back and forth action is nice. If you're on social media, you can find us DFTA Podcast on Instagram. You can find us Don't Feed the Artist on TikTok as well. If you have any thoughts on the Grammys, especially if you have thoughts about the Country Award and the Album of the Year, we would love to hear from you. I really would love to hear from you. So please email us at feedback@don'tfeedtheartist.com, or you can DM us on those socials. We would love to hear from you about those things. If you have topic suggestions, if you're like, you guys talk about this, please let us know that too. This week, we got a lot of cool stuff. Tomorrow, we got another deep dives, high fives, deep dives, whatever, Blake show. Sorry, I got it wrong. So come tune in for Blake's show, high fives and deep dives. That's tomorrow. We're doing Fun Fridays on Friday, and then we got some Patreon stuff coming this week. So be ready for all of that. It's going to be a lot of fun this week, a lot of new stuff. Thank you, Blake. Sorry.
He wouldn't want it any other way.
I guess that's true.
Does that mean I need to change the album art for this week?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, for joining us. Come hang out for all the new stuff we got coming up this week and more to come. We appreciate it so much.
Fuck off! Get rid of town!
All right, that's got to be it. I think I got to go.
get